Hello everyone, hope you are doing great. Welcome back to our channel. In today's video, we will discuss step-by-step process how you can apply for Spousal Open Work Permit from outside of Canada. To apply Spousal Open Work Permit, you need to create a GC Key account. If you already have an account, then you can use same account to apply. If you do not have any account, then you can simply create a new GC Key account. Before we move forward and log in to GC Key account, it is important to know which documents are required to have before you start your application for Spousal Open Work Permit. Open your Google browser and search here canada.ca. Click on the very first link. Then click on Immigration and Citizenship. As we want to apply for work permit for spouse, so click on Work. Again, click on Get a Work Permit. Then click on Temporary Workers. Here we will click on Apply for Work Permit. You can read all information provided here. But for now, we will click on How to Apply. Here it says, where are you applying from for work permit? So you're going to select outside Canada and then click on Get the application to work in Canada. Then you'll get to this page. Scroll down again. Here it says, how are you applying? Online is recommended, so you will select online. Then this is where you will select the country where you're applying from. For the purpose of this video, I'm going to stick with India, but select whatever country you are applying from. Alright, once I select India, I get a set of instructions. As you can see, there's two different sets of instruction guides. One, the generic instruction guide, and the other is the visa-specific requirements. Now, these visa-specific requirements can be different for each country. Some countries actually don't even have the visa-specific requirements. So, whichever country you're applying from, for an open work permit from, definitely make sure that you also submit the documents for the visa-specific requirements. Alright, so first we are going to look at the instruction guide, then we are going to cover the visa specific requirements. So I'm going to click on the instruction guide and it's going to open up this page, Guide 5487, applying for a work permit outside Canada. Once you get to this page, it's going to give you a brief overview of the entire application process. If you are familiar with this website and can just follow these instructions and prepare your whole application. So, click on step 1, Gather Documents. The first document that you will need is a valid passport and it should not be expiring by the time you complete your work permit application. So if your passport is going to expire soon, make sure you first renew the passport so that its validity is increased and then do the application. Next, 2 photos of yourself and accompanying family members that meet the visa application photograph specifications. Because we are doing the application online, you don't need to provide physical photos. You can just upload the digital photo. We are going to take a look at that when we actually get to the online portal where we need to upload digital photo. Next, proof of employment in Canada. Because this is an open work permit, it does not require an offer letter or proof of employment. So you can skip this one. The third one is proof of relationship. Because we are making this video from the perspective of an applicant whose spouse is already in Canada, either on a temporary student visa or a work permit visa, you will require proof of relationship, most likely a marriage certificate, which is valid and authentic. In the end of video, I will provide details how you can prove your relation authentic and which documents you can provide to make your application stronger. Then next is other documents. What are these other documents? All the documents that are not already listed here and are country-specific documents. For example, let's say you are an applicant from India, then you need to provide documents specific to India or the country you are applying from. So if you go back to this page, then you can need to click on this link to find what other documents are required for applicants applying from India. Here you can see that we have checklist. You need to provide this check along with your documents as well. Let's take a look at the documents listed in this checklist. If I scroll down, it says original valid passport and a photocopy of the biodata photo page. Because we are doing the application online, you don't need to provide the actual physical passport. You can simply provide a digital photocopy of the front and the back page of the passport and any center or middle pages where there are stamps on your passport. combine all that and upload it under the passport section when we do the online application. We will discuss more in later part of this video. Next, work permit applications. For proof of education, you will provide the certificate or completion certificate or degree and mark sheets of the highest degree that you've achieved, which means if you have done a bachelor's and a master's, you only need to provide the certificate and mark sheets for the master's degree. If your highest degree is the bachelor's, you'll do the same for that. Next is proof of work experience. This is fairly straightforward. If you've been employed in India, then you are going to submit the proof of work experience. If you are not employed, then you can obviously skip this part. Next up is proof of personal funds. Include income tax returns for the past 2 years, bank statements or books from the past 3 months, and property documents or other proof of income or investments. Here I want to mention that if you were not employed for the past 2 years, then you can obviously skip that. Next, copy of marriage certificate. Obviously, this is the video for a spousal open work permit, so you will have to provide a marriage certificate. If you have a child, you will have to provide their birth certificate as well. Next up is Family Information Form 5707. Again, when we go to the online portal and start doing the review of the forms, we'll cover this family information form. For now, these are the documents listed in this checklist that you must also provide along with the documents listed here. You're basically going to combine all these documents and upload them in a specific client information section in the online portal, and which I will show in coming part of this video. If you are coming to our YouTube channel for the very first time, please consider subscribing to our YouTube channel to get most up-to-date news, tips, tricks about Canadian immigration. We try to make people self-dependent. You can simply click on this link, create an account or sign in, or you can directly search on your Google browser GC key login and click on the very first link. Scroll down and click on sign in or create an account. If you have an existing GC key account, you can simply use your credentials and sign in. If you don't have a GC key account, then click on register for an account. If you do not have a GC key account, I have made a detailed video on how to create GC key account. You can follow this video for step-by-step instruction to make a new GC key account. Here I want to mention that if you are an applicant and you are applying for spousal application by yourself, then as the applicant for the spousal open work permit, you should create the GC key account in your own name. This ensures that all communications and actions related to your application are directly accessible to you. But if your spouse is submitting your application from inside Canada, then your husband should use his GC key account to submit your application using his own GC key account. We will discuss more details about it when we fill out online application. Let's move. As I already have an GC key account, so I will sign in using my GC key username and password. Enter your credentials here and click on sign in. When you sign in, it will ask you for authentication code and answer to your one of security question. Once you log in, so here you can see if you have submitted any application in past, you can see here. So scroll down and click on start an application. Apply to come to Canada, and here personal reference code, as we don't have any personal reference code. So we will go under determine your eligibility since you want to apply for an spousal open work permit. So this is your option. So click on visitor visa, study visa or work permit. So here you need to provide answers to these questions to determine your eligibility to apply for spousal open work permit. Here, so the first one is what would you like to do in Canada? So you need to select here work as you want to get open work permit. The second one is how long are you planning to stay in Canada? So we will select here temporarily more than 6 months. Here I want to mention that if sponsor has a work permit for less than 6 months, then you should select here temporarily less than 6 months, but for most of cases answer will be temporarily more than 6 months. Next is select the code that matches one of your passports. So You need to select here country which issued your passport, so I will select here India. You can select country as per your nationality. Next, what is your current country of residence? As principal applicant is still in India, then select from scroll down menu India or select country as per your country of resident. Next is, do you have a family member who's Canadian citizen or permanent resident? So here I want to mention that family member could be closest relative, it could be spouse or children. In this case, your spouse is actually on work permit or study permit inside Canada. So you need to select here no. Next, what is your date of birth? So you need to select date of birth of principal applicant as per official passport and enter it here and then select on next. Are you a lawful permanent resident of United States? So you need to provide answer as per your situations. For most of the candidates, the answer will be no and click on next. I have a job offer and my employer gave me an offer of employment number or LMIA number. Here I want to mention that your job offer must be from a Canadian employer and your employer must also have it confirmed in writing by ESDC, which is also known as Employment and Social Development Canada, that they can hire a foreign worker to fill the job. So answer to this question for most of candidates will be no. Let's move and click on next. On this page you will find out some questions. Here it says that do you plan to work in any of the following categories? If the principal applicant is planning to work in one of following category, then select yes from drop down menu, otherwise select no. For most of applicants, answers to this question will no. So I have selected here no. Next is, will you be coming to Canada under an active public policy or special measure announced by IRCC? So again, for most of cases, answer will be no. So I have selected here no. Next, this is a very important question. Are you a spouse, common law partner or dependent child of a person who has or is applying for a work permit? If you are a spouse of the sponsor or the person who is sponsoring you to Canada, and your sponsor has a work permit or is applying for work permit, then you need to select here yes. But if your sponsor is on study permit, then you need to select here no. For the purpose of this video, I would assume that your husband or wife holds a work permit and you are principal applicant of the sponsor. So select here yes. Next, have you recently graduated from a participating Canadian post-secondary institution? As principal applicant is living out of Canada, so for most of cases answer will be no. Once you're done, click on next. Are you a spouse or common law partner of a person who holds a study permit in Canada? If your husband or wife holds a study permit, then you need to select here yes, otherwise simply click on no. If your spouse holds a study permit and you want to apply for spousal open work permit, then you need to click on this link to find if you are eligible for it, because there have been some changes as per new rules by IRCC. Here you need to read who can apply. Your spouse living in Canada must meet the eligibility criteria listed below to be eligible for an open work permit. If you are applying for open work permit after April 30th, 2024, then you need to make sure that you fulfill all below given requirements and provide relevant documents. I will bring a detailed video if your spouse holds a study permit in Canada and you want to apply for spousal open work permit, then subscribe to our channel. For the purpose of this video, I will select here no, click on next button. What is your marital status? So I will select here married. Next, what is your province of destination? If visiting multiple provinces, select the one in which you will be spending most of the time. So you need to select the province or territory in which you will be residing while in Canada. For the purpose of this video, I will select here Ontario and click on next. So here you can see that based on the information you have provided, you are eligible for open work permit from outside of Canada, which we want to apply. So click on continue. Create your personal checklist. Again, you need to answer some more questions so that we can apply for open work permit. So again, click on continue button. What type of work permit do you want to apply for? So click here. You need to select a work permit for a spouse of an international student or for a family member of a worker and click on Next. Are you accompanying a family member that has status in Canada or has recently been approved to come to Canada? This means you will be staying with a family member who is already in Canada or has applied to come to Canada and has been accepted as a visitor, worker or student. So you need to select here Yes. Click on Next. Have you ever committed, been arrested for, been charged with or convicted of any criminal offense in any country? No. Click on Next. Have you had a medical exam performed by IRCC authorized panel within last 12 months? If you have a medical exam which was performed by IRCC authorized panel within last 12 months, then you can select here Yes. If this is not the case, then select here No. Let's move and click Next. Have you visited or lived in any one of the designated countries for 6 consecutive months in the last year? If you have lived in one or more designated countries or territories for more than 6 months in the past year, click on this link to find list of designated countries. Here you can find all countries under designated countries list. Let's go back. For purpose of this video, I will select Yes, as India does fall under list of designated countries and you as a spouse also living in India for more than 6 months, so you need to select Yes. But if you are from any other country, then see if you fall under designated country. Next, here it says that based on your answers, you need to get a medical exam performed by an authorized doctor, which we'll discuss later in this video in document upload section. Click on Next. Do you want to submit an application for your family member? So here again, I want to mention if you want to submit an application for your family member, for example your children, then you need to select Yes, otherwise select No and click on Next. Are you giving someone access to your application? Let's say for example, someone else is preparing and representing your application. For example, your spouse in Canada or a family member, then you need to select first point. Yes, I will be appointing a representative to apply on my behalf. On the other hand, if you are representing your application by yourself, then you can simply click on No. For the purpose of this video, I will select first option as my spouse in Canada will be my representative. Let's move and click on Next. Next is, did your representative give you a submission letter? Let's say if your spouse in Canada is representing your application, then you need to select here No. Click on Next. In past 10 years, have you given your fingerprints and photos for an application to come to Canada? For most cases, answer to this question will No. So we will be selecting here No and click on Next. There are fees associated with this application. Will you be paying? Of course, we need to select here Yes. I will be paying my application fees and click on Next. Are you able to make a digital copy of document? Select Yes and click on Next. Will you be paying your application fee online? Select Yes and click on Next. So here you can review all your answers to the questions. If you see there is any change you want to make it, so you can simply click on this edit button and you can edit the information. If everything is okay, scroll down all the way and click on continue. So here, submitting your application, there are 4 steps you need to follow. If you want to, you can read all information provided on this page. So we will go all the way down and click on continue. So in this section, we need to provide all the documents which are required to apply open work permit for your spouse. Also, you need to make sure that the documents which you are submitting along the application are correct and you carefully review all of them. So first we need to fill out application for work permit made outside of Canada YMM1295 and submit or upload here. So let's click on IMM1295. So simply you can see that you cannot open using your browser. What you need to do, you need to save this form on your computer and you need to open with your Adobe Acrobat. So here we have our application form IMM1295 which we need to fill out. I have already filled out this form to make it faster. So the first one is UCI number. as you are applying from outside of Canada for open work permit. So most probably you do not have any UCI number, so leave this box blank. The second is I want service in English, so I have selected here English. Next is personal details. So in this section you need to provide each detail here as per your passport. So here you need to provide your family name and given name. I have seen that in most of Indian passports, family name is blank and full name is written under given name. If you don't have a family name on your passport, then enter all your given name under family name and leave your given name blank in this application. Have you ever used any other name? No. Then you need to enter your gender here. After that, provide your date of birth and your city or place of birth as per your passport and the country which issued your passport. Make sure you provide all these details as per your passport. Then you need to select here your citizenship. So I have selected here India. Let's move. Next one is your current country of residence. As you are applying for open work permit and you are living in your home country, so select your home country from status drop down menu. I have selected India for purpose of this video. Under status, select your status. So I have selected citizen. Then move forward. Previous country of residence during the past 5 years. Have you lived in any country other than your country of citizenship or your current country of residence for more than 6 months? Then select yes, otherwise you need to select here no. In other words, if you have lived in any country other than Canada and your country of citizenship, then you need to provide those details here. Let's move forward. Country or territory where applying same as current country of residence. So I have selected yes. Next, your current marital status. So I have selected here married. Then you need to provide date on which you were married or entered into the common law relationship. In section C, you need to provide details of your spouse who is sponsoring you to Canada. So provide family name and given name of your spouse. Then move forward to personal details section. Have you previously been married or in common law relationship? No. You can answer as per your situation. Next is language. So you need to select your mother tongue here. And then are you able to communicate in English or French? So I have selected here English. Have you taken a test from a designated testing agency to access your proficiency in English or French? So if you have valid IELTS score, then you can enter yes. But if your score is expired or not valid anymore, then select here no. Then you need to provide your passport number, the country which issued your passport. You need to provide here and the date of issue and expiry date of your passport. You need to provide all these details here exactly as per your passport. Then you need to move national identity document. Do you have national identity document? If you have, you can select yes, otherwise no. So in case of India, you can provide your Aadhaar card details, provide issue date here and leave expiry date blank as it does not have any expiry. Next, US permanent resident card. Are you a lawful permanent resident of United States? I have answered no. Next, contact information, current mailing address. So you need to provide your present address of principal applicant. Then you need to provide here residential address. If your residential address is same as your current address, then you can simply click here yes. If not, then you need to provide residential address here. Next one is telephone number. You can provide your telephone number. If you want to provide alternative phone number, so you can provide here. Then move to next section, email address. You need to provide your email address here. Next, details of intended work in Canada. Here it says, what type of work permit you are applying for. From drop down, I have selected open worker as we are applying for spousal open work permit from out of Canada. Let's move to point 2. Details of my prospective employer. Name of employer, etc. As you are applying for spousal open work permit, so you do not need to provide any detail from point 2 to 6. You need to leave this section blank. This section is for applicants who has LMIA. Next is education. Have you had any post-secondary education, university, college, diploma training? We need to select here yes. Then we need to provide those details here, from which year to which year you studied. Then you need to provide here your field of study. Then you need to provide school or university where you studied. So in short, we need to provide all details about our study inside this education section. Next, then we move to employment section. So we need to provide here employment details of our last 10 years. So we need to provide 10 years work history in chronological order without any gap. So here I have provided some examples how you can fill out your employment history. Let's say from December 2021 to present, I am working as a lecturer. I have left blank as I am still working this place, and then you need to provide city and country. Similarly, you can provide information about your work history in last 10 years. Provide information if you were a student, you were employed, or you are unemployed. Here I want to mention, let's say if you were unemployed during last 10 years, then you can simply say that from this period to this period I was unemployed. Make sure you do not leave any gaps when you enter your information here. Let's move to background information. Within past 2 years, have your family member ever had tuberculosis? No. You need to answer all these questions as per your situation. Next, do you have any physical or mental disorder? No. Let's move to the second point. Have you ever remained beyond the validity of your status inside Canada? No. Have you ever been refused a visa or permit? No. Have you previously applied to enter to remain in Canada? So I will answer here no. Here, I want to mention that if you have ever been rejected or applied for Canada visa, then you need to provide information here, and it is very critical. Let's move to the next. Have you ever committed being arrested or been charged? No. Let's move background information continued. Did you serve in military, militia, or civil defense unit? No. Have you been a member of political party? No. Have you been witnessed or participated in ill treatment? No. So you can answer these all questions as per your situation. Let's move to the last section. Signature. Do you consent to be contacted by IRCC? Yes. And then you need to provide your signature and the date you are filling out this application. Once we are done, we need to click on validate. So you can see here validation completed successfully. So click on OK. You can see that these barcodes has been generated. It means that this application form has been validated and everything looks good. Let's go back to the online portal. So we need to upload our form IMM 1295. So click here to upload the document. After that, next section is supporting documents. You need to fill family information for IMM 5707. Once you're done, you need to upload here. Let's click on family information form IMM 5707. What you need to do, you need to download and save this form on your computer. And you need to open with your Adobe Acrobat. So here we have our application form IMM 5707, which we need to fill out. I have already filled out this form to make it faster. So this form helps to verify the family details of the applicant. It's important to fill it out accurately and completely. In section A, applicant need to enter personal details. This includes your applicant's family name, applicant's given name, date of birth of applicant, then provide country or territory of birth, marital status which you need to select from drop-down menu, and your present occupation you need to provide here. If you are not employed, then enter unemployed. If you are a student, then enter student. Make sure to fill in these details exactly as they appear on your passport or travel document. I was physically present at the marriage ceremony. Yes. In next section, you need to provide information about your spouse or sponsor. This includes whether they will accompany you to Canada. Of course, we need to answer yes. Then you need to provide your spouse's family name, given name, date of birth, country or territory of birth, present address of spouse in Canada, marital status and present occupation of your spouse. Next, here it says, If spouse was physically present at the marriage ceremony, make sure to check this box. In next section, you need to provide information about your parents. Here it says, will your parent accompany you to Canada? So I have selected no. Then you need to provide information as per parent's passport. Here I want to mention that if any of parent is deceased, then enter deceased in address column and also provide date, place of death along with country. Similarly, in next section, you need to provide information about your other parent here as per passport. Let's move to section B. You will provide details about your children. This includes all sons and daughters, adopted and stepchildren regardless of age or place of residence. For each child, you need to specify their relationship to you, family name, given name, date of birth, country or territory of birth, present address, marital status, and present occupation. Again, make sure to indicate if they will accompany you to Canada. But for the purpose of this video, I will say I do not have any children. I want to mention that if you do not have any children, then applicant needs to provide physical signatures on this page along with date. Next, section C is the certification section. Here, you certify that the information provided is complete, accurate and factual. Sign and date the form in the sections provided. You need to take print out of this page and provide your signatures on this page, and then you need to scan, then upload to online portal. Once you upload this family information on online application. Next is you need to upload a legible copy of your valid passport. Make sure you upload first and last page of your passport along with any pages with stamps, visas, etc. Let's move. Next, use of representative. You need to fill out IMM 5476 as your spouse in Canada is representing your application, so you need to give your consent that your spouse can represent your application. So you need to fill out this form. Click on question mark and click on this link to download this form. Once you download this form, open in Adobe. Use of a representative. So you need to tick here as you're appointing a representative. So you need to fill out section A, B and D. In section A, provide principal applicant's information. As per official passport, provide family name, given name and date of birth. In next section, appointment of representative. Provide representative's information here. In this case, your spouse in Canada needs to provide information. Representative's full name or surname, given name. Then in point 6, tick on friend or family member, scroll down. Then in point 7, you need to provide information about representative's contact information. In short, you need to provide mailing address of your representative. Then in point 8, representative needs to provide physical signature here with date. Once you're done, scroll down, move to section D, your declaration. In this section, applicant and spouse of applicant needs to sign this document with date. You need to take a printout of this document and then you and your spouse needs to sign here. And then you scan this form and upload to online portal under use of a representative section. Next, then you need to upload here digital photo of yourself. For the specs of the photo, you can follow these instructions. Simply you can take a print of this document and you can go to the photographer so that he can prepare photo as per the requirement and you can upload to the portal. So next up is the request for a medical exam. At this point, you don't really have to submit your medicals right away, but once your application is submitted and approved, you will get a request for medicals. What you can do is click on this question mark. It's going to give you a link. Click on that link. You need to download this form, IMM 5753. Open this form and scroll down and you are going to select yes here and save it. Then you are going to upload this form right here so that they'll know that they have to send instructions for medicals to you down the line. Okay, that's all you need to do for medical at this point. Next is proof of relationship. In order to get a spouse work permit, there are many documents that need to be submitted to prove your relationship genuine. Before I provide list of all documents, make sure that you provide table of content with page number to make it easier for visa officer to understand what information you are providing to prove your relation. If you click on question mark, here it says provide a marriage certificate if you are in common law relationship. Fill out IMM 5409. Fill out only if applicable. Next, provide birth certificate. Then you need to provide inviter or sponsor's passport copy showing your name. Here is the detailed list of documents required to prove your relationship. First, you tell your story in one page, how you guys met, fell in love, and decided to build a life together. Was it an arranged marriage? If so, who introduced you? Did you meet online or through friends? Share the details about your story in short. Describe the moment you met for the first time. Where was it? What was the first impression? These details can add a personal touch to your application and help the immigration officer understand your relationship's development. Second is provide proof of spouse's visit to India, share dates and locations. And if you have any flight tickets, hotel bookings, or other proof of these visits, be sure to include them. Next is marriage certificate. Provide your marriage certificate. Make sure it is correct and there is no mistake at all. Next is wedding and social media pictures which justify your relation. Provide pictures from your reception or other traditional ceremonies. Be sure to provide your photos with your family, relatives, parents, and close friends. You can also provide pictures of your honeymoon along with hotel booking. Make sure under each picture you provide some details about occasion. You can also share an Instagram or Facebook post with comment on each other's posts. Screenshot those interactions as proof of your digital connection. You can also provide few screenshots of your chat, video calls on WhatsApp conversation from the day you guys starting chatting. Next, passports. Provide both passport which has each other's spouse name on them, which shows that you guys are married to each other. Next, financial proofs. If you have a joint bank account, then provide proof of that along with above documents. Lastly, you can provide your wedding cards from both sides, booking of marriage palace, etc. can also be provided. Once you're done, make one PDF of all these documents and upload this to online portal. If your file size is big and you cannot upload here, then you can go on Google and search for PDF compressor. I personally use Adobe PDF compressor, which is free of cost. Then let's move to optional documents. Alright, so we just covered all the documents that were listed on this page, but that is not enough. There are additional documents that you have to submit. So let's go back to the guide 5487 and click here on complete the application. You can see that all documents which are listed here are also available under document upload section, as you can see here, but document checklist is not listed here. So let's go back to 5487 guide. So you have to submit this document checklist also. So you're going to click this link and save on your computer. Open in Adobe PDF Reader. In this document checklist, you are simply going to affirm what documents you are going to actually submit along with your application by simply checking those boxes. So for this application, you are submitting an application to work permit outside Canada. So you're going to check this box. Next, you are submitting family information form. So check this box. Next, common law. If applies to you, then check it. But for this purpose, because it's a clear case of marriage, so you don't have to check this box. Next, if you are using a representative, you will have to check this box because your spouse is representing your application on your behalf. So I'll check this box. Next, you can skip this one. Authority to release personal information. Next is proof of payment. You need to check this box as you need to pay for application. Next, a photocopy of the information page of the passport. So you need to tick this box next, then 2 photos meeting the requirements. Now because this is an online application, you are only uploading 1 photo, so you can tick this box as well. Right next, proof of current immigration status. So if your country or territory of residence differs from the citizenship. Alright, so this is not the case for this particular scenario. you are in India and you are an Indian citizen, so you are not going to select this box. Alright, then a photocopy of your marriage certificate. Yes, we are uploading that. So check this box. Next, proof indicating you meet the requirements of the job. As this application is for spousal open work permit, so you can skip this one. Next, copy of LMIA, you can skip this one because this is an open work permit. Next, if working in Quebec, so you can skip this one. This doesn't apply to Quebec. Next, if you are a provincial nominee, this doesn't apply as well, so you can skip this. Next, if applying for a post-graduation work permit, submit proof that you have completed all the requirements of your program of study, so you can skip this as well. Any additional documents, so you are going to check this box because it says refer to the visa specific instructions. Alright, so the visa specific instructions are in this 5905 checklist that we saw in beginning of this video, specific to India. So you are going to print this checklist out, then check the boxes for the documents that you are uploading. So now you have two checklists, one 5905, which is the country specific checklist for India, and the other one is 5488, which we just looked at. Here I want to mention that you need to combine these two checklists together and make single PDF along with all the supporting documents, for example, proof of education if you have any work experience, and all the other supporting documents that you are going to attach. You are going to combine all those into a single document, and then that single document is going to be uploaded in this client information section. Alright, if you don't know how to combine these documents, then simply go to Google and click on Combine PDF. Alright, and there are multiple options here. Just click any of these options and combine all PDF. Once you have combined PDF, then you can go back to this portal and upload it here. But once you combine all your documents, they may actually be larger than 4 megabytes, which is not going to be allowed. So make sure you also compress them. To compress, again, what you can do, you can go to Google and type in compress PDF, and again you will have multiple options to choose from. So just select the small PDF or I love PDF, whatever option works for you. So you're going to go to any of these links and then simply upload that combined file here, and it is going to compress it. So you will have to repeat compression until your file size is either 4 megabytes or less than 4 megabytes. Once you are done with the compression, then you can simply come back here and upload that file under the client information section. Once you're done, click on next, scroll down. You need to pay total $340. Scroll down, click on I agree. Then enter your given name and last name as per your passport. Lastly, provide answer to security question. Then click on sign. Again, scroll down, click on transmit and pay button. Again, click on transmit and pay. Here you need pay application fee using your credit or Visa card. So we have submitted successfully application for spousal open work permit. So now let's summarize all the documents and forms that you need to submit to complete this application. Number one is the application for work permit 1295. Next is the family information form 5707. Number 3 is the use of a representative form, if using a representative, form 5476. Number 4 is checklist document 5488. Number 5 is another checklist 5905 or your country specific visa requirements. Number 6 is the education and work related supporting documents. Then your passport, your photo, your request for medical exam form. And lastly, do not forget to provide document for your spouse's status inside Canada, for example, work permit of your spouse in Canada. That should complete all the documents and forms that you need to upload to complete your application. Now, if you want to apply for an open work permit from inside Canada, then I have already made a detailed video on that. You can find link below in description. This is all about spousal open work permit. If you have any question, you can leave comment in comment box. I will try my best to reply. I hope you guys find my videos useful. I always try to bring videos which could help you and help you learn and be independent. If you like our video, please consider subscribing to our YouTube channel. Thank you very much.